Hello everybody, I am AlpacaPatrol, and this is Dota 2. Can I turn off the announcers? Oh my god, hold on a second. How's it going, everybody? It's the unit speech volume is what affects that. Sorry, we're in Dota! I'm gonna cast a game of Dota. How's everybody doing today? You guys doing well? Let's introduce the teams. I skipped through the beginning planning phase because it's fucking boring. However, we might be seeing a fight here, or just a sneaky little ward to secure, seeing what heroes walk into the lane here. Anyway, let's introduce the teams. Let's just get right underway. This is way better than the other bullshitting for half an hour talking about players and items and heroes. So, anyway, let's take a look here. We got Bruce playing our Wraith King, which looks like he's actually going to be a carry Wraith King in the safe lane. We have Canucks Fangirl going to be playing the Silencer. K-Dog, he is a hip motherfucker, that K-Dog right there. He's gonna be playing our Lion, which is like super popular right now, and I can see why. 7 base damage increase in the new patch. It is strong as hell. He is really good at zoning people out now, and he had a really strong set of spells before already, so he was always pretty strong in my opinion. Jay is going to be playing the Templar Assassin in the middle lane versus the Invoker. In the off lane, we have Little Soupy Pork Buns is going to be playing our Nyx Assassin, who is having a really hard time against this Skywrath. This has been, like, my favorite hero to play as, like, I don't want to do anything hard, I'm just going to play Skywrath support. Because you just zone out offlaners so hard, and it's going to be played by SFX, and he is going to be with the Boots first build, which is interesting. The hero already starts with, like, 330 base move speed, something ridiculous, but he can really zone this guy out with these boots. Look at this. Look at this. He's going to have another Arcane Bolt, which he just used immediately. The Nyx is at half health. He doesn't matter if he trades hits. Now, the downside to this is he's not going to have a lot of clarities. But he does have a CM, so I guess that's probably the reason for it. So CM is going to be played by 3,000, a bunch of Chinese characters. A bunch of Chinese characters is going to be playing the Terror Blade. Actually, I don't know if that's Chinese. I think it is, actually. Let Me Go is going to be on our Invoker, and in the off lane, we have Bristleback, MC-Deck Go. C-Deck, popular Chinese team. I actually really like them, too. They're up and coming. Well, I wouldn't say they're up and coming, necessarily, but they're pretty darn good. I like them. I like them quite a bit. Alright, Templar Assassin having a bit of a rough time here. The Skywrath camping the top rune, securing it for whoever. Terrorblade has got all the space he needs. He's got the greedy build, the build I like to go when I'm playing with these hard farming carries, which is the Quelling Stout Tangos. Like, if you know that you're not going to be encountering too much... Ooh, Refraction blocks the Sunstrike from the Invoker, so we do have a Exort... Oh, actually, just an Exort Invoker. He hasn't leveled the Quas. I guess he hasn't felt like he's had any pressure. Now, Wraith King, once this Bristleback gets a couple levels on him, Wraith King is gonna have a tough time against this Bristleback. Bristleback loves to just eat up those melee heroes. If you want to walk into him, he will love you for it. So Bristleback gonna just attempt to get a bunch of XP, as much farm as he possibly can. But, you know, not really focusing on it. I didn't actually take a look at the runes because I'm an asshole and terrible at casting, which is also why I'm casting, because I want to get better at this. And I noticed my camera was a bit jerky in the last cast that I did, because my internet's been down and I had nothing to watch, so I just figured I might as well just, you know, check on my casts, see if they're any good. And now we do have the Quas Exort Invoker. Just the usual stuff. Oh, Crystal Maiden misses a creep. What a noob. No, that's actually, it's really hard to pull, and she actually did the thing that makes the pull through a lot easier on Dire, which is just breaking down that tree, because you could actually fog these creeps when you try to walk them through the pull through, and it's pretty annoying. Nyx Assassin doing the smart thing here. You know, really, as an offlaner now, you kind of just have to get XP. So what he's doing is he's just sitting and taking the XP from the pulls because of the change. What, 2-3 patches ago? So that's pretty much safe XP that he could get, and he decides not to spike Carapace that. He doesn't really need to. It's a waste of mana, I suppose. Meanwhile, Invoker, he looks like he's going for the Midas build. That should be a traditional Quas Exort Invoker. Top lane, Rune's gonna show up. Looks like no one's going for the bottom room quite yet. And Invokers generally do not get bottles. I've seen it sometimes, but you don't really need the mana regen, and that is an Invis rune bottled up for the Templar Assassin. Meanwhile, the Silencer gets a bounty rune, which is pretty darn nice for supports if you can get him. And the Invoker's not really going to be trying to do anything about that. If he has Forge Spirits up, he can deny the runes, which he'll probably be trying to do. But, you know, not that big of a deal. Nyx Assassin chasing a TB Illusion out of the lane. I don't know where this TB Illusion's actually going. And it looks like we do have a smoke up from the Radiant team. However, the bait is not going to work, I don't think, because the creeps are under Invoker's tower. The TA is completely missing because of the Invis rune, so he already knows that something's up. And here comes the Lion. Maybe he doesn't know. TA's lowing for this, but this is going to be quite the dive. There goes the Sunstrike. Oh, and the Cold Snap does so much damage to that Lion, but the Earth Spike actually stuns the Invoker. He deals a lot of damage, and the Silencer goes down as well, but the Templar Assassin is being chased here by the Skywrath Mage, and the Skywrath... no, he does not decide to chase. He does have Concussive Shot. Meanwhile, in the top lane, by the way, while that was happening, yeah, looks like Terrorblade used Metamorphosis. He hit the poor Nyx Assassin to death with his flaming balls of blue disaster and doom, and he's just going to be hitting creeps for a while. So I figured I didn't have to watch this lane, but I'm a big asshole. I think watching the middle lane fight was better, even though the first blood happened there in top. And a Concussive Shot goes up on this Templar Assassin, but she goes Invis. Here comes the Sunstrike. It's going to do a lot of damage. Crystal Maiden takes a single shot of the tower. Skywrath takes another, and they're just going to have to back away. They don't have vision. Their Sentry Ward was just out of range. Just barely out of range, too. Look at that. Templar Assassin just sat right there, and I guess they were just out of sentries. They couldn't get her. So, unfortunate for the Dire team, but I think they're feeling all right. A couple of those fights went well. I mean, the Dire, the Templar, Terrorblade proved that he can just stay in this lane alone against this Nyx Assassin. He doesn't need the supports, which is why they've started roaming. You know, honestly, if you have a carry, that's generally how it's played now. The safe lane carry. Oh, these Radiant heroes are walking under a Dire ward from this Bristleback, and I don't know if he placed that ward, but it is a really helpful ward. It is keeping him alive, and that's really how you have to play the offlane. Just gotta sit back, take the XP and farm that you can, but don't overextend and, you know, not know where the supports are and get killed like that easily. Nyx Assassin trying to do the same thing here. Top of the board on CS, we got the Terrorblade with 44. Wraith King quite far behind, 15 CS behind the Terrorblade, and admittedly he has a much harder lane up against this Bristleback. Bristleback roaming here to, I guess, stack the Ancients, which he didn't achieve. I guess he has nothing else to do right now, since he can't walk up into the lane. He will get destroyed if he does. There's 2 stuns and, yeah, 2 points into last word there, so he'll have a tough time. No Curse of the Silence leveled. Really, that spell is... You would really get the optimum efficiency out of hitting multiple heroes with it, and since he's up against an offlaner, I can see why he's not leveling it. Plus, last word does so much damage. Meanwhile, middle lane... Things have evened out a bit. I mean, the Templar Assassin is not too far behind. They're both level 7, not terribly different in level and XP. Terrorblade doing his Terrorblade things, hitting buildings. And looks like they should actually be able to take this tower. And I don't think the Radiant team is going to try to go in to defend this because it's pretty much the least important tower in the game. And let's see where the runes spawn. There's a double damage down in the bottom lane. Templar Assassin looking to get a wraparound kill. Didn't actually mean to hit that button. Sorry about that. But this is... I don't know. This is ambitious. There's an Impale, but there goes the Crystal Nova and the Silence. Skywrath hitting him with the Arcane Bolts, doing so much damage. And Templar Assassin's coming in here, trying to do what she can. She does slow the Crystal Maiden. Spike Carapace actually stuns the Crystal Maiden. Hex up onto the Crystal Maiden, and Crystal Maiden goes down from that Lion coming in. Mana Drain, last word on the Terrorblade, and in fact... The Radiant team does seem that they want to defend this tower that doesn't exist anymore, but looks like they're trying to get the important kills. And if they could get this Skywrath or this Terrorblade, looks like Nyx has a clarity. He's looking. He's got almost enough mana to get the Impale. He doesn't want to take that tower hit. He keeps diving here with this TA. TA is going crazy. Last word's going to get the kill. Earth Spike up from the Lion, but the Lion has no more mana. And the Invoker comes in, TP's in. Oh, double stun with the Spike Carapace. Looks like Templar Assassin gets another kill. just before she dies, so I don't know if the worth levels were high enough or not. Yeah, 610 gold in favor of the Dire, and the Nyx Assassin does go down as well. So, or I'm sorry, 810 gold change in favor of the Dire. So that was a really favorable trade for that Dire team. They got 4 kills for 2. Admittedly, they lost their Terrorblade, but it seems like he bought out before he died, so he probably didn't lose that much gold. I would imagine most of his gold was... Well, no, yeah. I don't know if he actually even lost any gold. He might have spent all of his unreliable gold, because he did get that kill on the Nyx Assassin, which was First Blood, so that's a considerable amount of reliable gold. And at his level, whatever 7 times 30 is, 210, he can maximum lose 210 unreliable, so with buying the Band of Elvenskin, he probably got rid of all that unreliable gold and didn't have to worry. Regen rune spawns at the bottom position, and Templar Assassin unluckily goes for the top rune, which is a bounty, which is weird because she had a trap there, so she knew that there was actually a better rune in the bottom lane, and in fact someone just pinged it out. Teal? I guess that was Wraith King, and looks like Radiant supports gonna take that regen rune, take it away from the Templar Assassin. Now the thing about being an offlaner on the Radiant side, when you lose that tower, it's actually kind of nice, especially if you're not level 6 yet, which I guess he is, so he probably should be going off and ganking, but he wants to get his Blink Dagger as quickly as possible. At least that's generally what Nyx Assassins do, is they want to get that Blink Dagger pretty quick. Oh, there's a stun, but the Invoker has a quick Blink Dagger, and down goes the Lion, and the Global Silence comes out from the Silencer, and the damage is going out on the Skywrath, but it doesn't matter because Silencer goes down, and it looks like they're going to continue to chase. They don't know this Nyx Assassin is here, though, I don't think. And there goes the Nyx Assassin with that damage on the Crystal Maiden. She goes down. Oh, she does not go down, in fact, and that's 2 kills in favor of the Radiant, or the Dire, without taking any losses themselves. That Crystal Maiden barely escaped with her life, and she's got a Boots of Tranquil, so she's going to be able to, you know, get back to full health pretty quickly. She's not even gonna, she's actually just gonna go ward and probably not go back to base, honestly. Doesn't really need to. Tranquil Boots are really so strong on roaming supports now. I mean, they're cheap, they allow you to stay outside of base. She's gonna get Observer Wards delivered to her. Look at it, with the Arcane Aura, full max 4 points into it, she's gonna be at full mana, full health in no time. And she nearly died. So, and it looks like the Dire team moving around in a gank squad. Wraith King playing way too far up. He's got a Soul Ring, which is an interesting build. It allows you to Soul Ring before you die. It's pretty strong against the Quas Wex Invoker, especially one in... Oh, there goes the Cold Snap. His ultimate is on cooldown, and he is super dead. Playing a little bit too far up with no TP scroll on him, so... had he brought a TP scroll when he was playing up here, he might have been able to escape even under tower, but... that is unfortunate timing, and the gank squad from the Dire keep rolling out here. Oh, I wanted to see that fight recap, but Dota said no! No fight recap! Bounty Rune in the top lane. Looks like Templar Assassin does pick it up and instantaneously use it. Thing about Bounty Runes is, in theory, the most efficient way to use them, right, is to wait until the 2-minute spawn if you don't need to use it. In reality, though, the difference is 5 gold and 5 XP for the next 2-minute rune spawn, so it's not that big of a difference to use right away. Obviously, it's not the most super-duper, I'm, you know, burning efficient, but it's not really that big of a deal. 5 gold and 5 XP is probably not going to be the difference between a kill and a death. Could be, but it probably won't be. Ooh, and Cold Snap up on the Wraith King. He does have his reincarnation up, so he's ready to go whenever need be. Invoker with the... Man, Invoker is farmed as hell. He's actually the highest level on the board here, and surprisingly enough, the Radiant are keeping up in levels. But this push train's coming. With the 2 Forge Spirits... I mean, honestly, they can push super duper hard. Look at this. Half the tower is dead, and they barely touched it with anything but creeps. I mean, just Invoker right-clicks, Bristleback right-clicks. I mean, they're just slow-sieging this tower, and the Radiant team doesn't seem to want to do anything about it. Oh, here comes a Hellfire Blast and an Earth Spike. The Silence goes down on the Lion, but the Skywrath ultimate destroys the Templar Assassin, and this tower should be going down for sure now. Nyx Assassin trying to do what he can to, like, you know, trade here, but not exactly the best pushing hero. And in that fight recap, negative 269 gold for the Radiant and plus 465 and a 1,000 experience change for the Dire team. So the push is moving out in full force here. Holy shit! Alright, I must have been missing kills or something, or maybe it's just been in the chaos of these fights, but Invoker is 10-1. So that's why he has so much goddamn farm on him. And, now, generally, Quas, Exort, Invokers, and looks like they're actually going to go for this Rosh here. Rosh is going to have so little armor from this sticky goo, because he's gooing the shit out of this Rosh right now. Look at this. Rosh is at 3 armor, 2 armor, 1 armor. Actually, not 1 armor. Still only 2 armor. I guess the Rosh Lincoln's popped. But that armor reduction is going to be so strong, and they're probably going to put this Aegis on the Invoker, honestly. That would be the smartest thing to do, since he is just destroying, he's demolishing people right now. Yeah, 575 XP per minute as it stands right now. I don't want to look at current gold. I want to look at, where is net worth? Yeah, here we go. Why is that? What? Oh. I pressed the sort button, apparently. Alright, that's a bit weird. So, net worth, the Invoker at 10k, while the next highest on the Radiant is the Wraith King at 4. Life is not looking good for this Dire team right now. Invoker is running away with this game. Now, like I said, the most common build that I see on Quas Exort Invoker is going to be that Necro Book. So, we'll see if he opts to go for that. I mean, their push is already pretty crazy right now, with just the Forge Spirits, and honestly, they don't have much other push besides the Terrorblade, which is like, holy mega wow kill push. And holy shit, I look away for the second, Invoker blinks up. I guess I didn't notice this this Dire Observer Ward, and there's a concussive shot, there's the Skywrath ultimate, Nyx Assassin comes in with the Vendetta, does a bunch of damage, stun up on a creep actually, so the misclick for that poor Wraith King, and it looks like this Invoker should die. His blink is actually off cooldown, so if he can blink immediately, and he does, what's happening over here? Skywrath taking a bunch of damage, Bristleback doing his Bristleback thing, Impale up on the Invoker in the top part of the fight here, and 2 heroes go down on the other end, and Invoker does not actually feed his streak away. So, that went pretty well. Cold Snap on the Templar Assassin, she just melds and plays Claire de Lune by herself, and it's sad and lonely, and do they have any detection here to kill this, this Templar? Now they're just gonna be like, alright, fuck you, bitch, I'm leaving. Or are they? Templar Assassin walking away. There goes the concussive shot, though. That has like crazy daisy range. Let me try to show you here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that range. This is why I love this hero. You just hit him from like 5 screens away. Invoker actually boots some travels over to the other creep wave in order to get this kill, and the kill is secured. So that was a good use of that of those boots of travel, and he is sitting with 3,200 gold. And yeah, the Templar calls GG. This appears to be a bit of a stomp. It seems like this game has run away with them, and now Invoker looks like he's going for the Aghanim Scepter, which means he could just be popping off invokes over and over and over and over again. It's fantastic. It feels great. He loves it. I don't play this hero, but I'm sure it must feel nice because he just has like he has all the spells all the time. And there goes the towers. Unfortunately, when you're behind early against the Terrorblade, it means you pretty much lost. And Terrorblade already has Manta style. Oh, Nyx with the Ravage here, doing so much damage. Finger of Death on the nearly dead Skywrath Mage. Nyx Assassin, meanwhile, goes down. So does the Lion, and it looks like the Bristleback's continuing to chase, but he's taking so much damage. Buyback from the Lion, so he wants to come back into this fight. But yeah, I think that Bristleback underestimated how much damage he could actually take, especially from the front. He does have that mechanism, so it's just a pretty strong item on that hero. Because he does his damage in other ways. Generally, you buy mechanism on heroes. Heroes that are good mechanism carriers are ones that can deal damage in other ways, like a Razor, who gets the majority of his damage comes from static link, or a Viper, say, or the majority of his damage comes from his orb effect, right? So, heroes that want to be tanky, like Razor and Viper, and are naturally speedy as well. So that's generally why you get the mechanism on the Bristleback. The danger is that they did nerf the mechanism on carries, making it 225 mana, but in a way they kind of nerfed it on supports too, because honestly a support wants to be using all his spells multiple times in a fight. Generally, a support is played in the position where it's just using a bunch of low-cost, low-cooldown spells over and over again, as much as he can to stay alive and deal as much damage for his team as he can. But it makes it so that supports, I mean, Mechanism is just kind of not even a support item anymore. It kind of forced it into a carry position item. But Bristleback feeling pretty good. He's got his Blade Mail, so he has enough pool to sustain the Mechanism. He feels anyway. Sticky goo, viscous nasal goo. Oh, Invoker, tomato, potato, meatball. And Bristleback just tanking up a storm. He actually could nearly die, but there goes the Mechanism with that big burst heal. Nyx Assassin with that Ravage, and holy cow, the Blade Mail doing so much! And the Crystal Maiden Freezing Field wasn't even necessary. Lion's dead too. Or is he? Hellfire Blast on the Crystal Maiden. Big crit takes him down, but the Ice Wall from the Invoker is going to be slowing the shit out of this poor Wraith King. Life is hard for him. Reincarnation. Concussive Blast. Arcane Bolt. Dead Lion in the fountain, and that's going to be the game, friends. I don't think there's anything this Radiant team can do. They just simply do not have the comeback potential by this point, and this is a 20-minute victory, so a pretty quick game of Dota, I have to say. Dota 2. Game is hard. That's when I say the game is hard in the chat. Just can't do anything else. You know, the game just kind of got away from the Radiant team, unfortunately. Did not have a means to deal with any of that. Oh, Invoker blinks in, Cold Snap doing a lot of damage to that Wraith King, who does still have his ultimate, so this big slow is going to come out. Oh, the Templar Assassin, I think, misclicked. She wants to hit the Bristleback, and she didn't manage to get him. And in fact, he's actually not going to get away because of the last word damage. And Wraith King, oh, look at that. What was all that red fire from? That wasn't even like an Aghanim's Lion. There's the Finger of Death. What did that come from? Was that just Impale? That is weird. Meanwhile, Skywrath. Oh, Nyx Assassin. Oh, I feel bad for you, buddy. Just so much damage potential, and the Force Staff for that Silencer. Oh, he goes down. That's a Force Staff from the Skywrath Concussive Shot, Arcane Bolt. Man, game is hard. Game is super duper hard. Sunstrike just to get vision so that they could fountain farm some more. Whew. Man, it sucks to be on the losing end of those. Good game. Canucks Fangirl says no. It was not a good game. That's fair. That game was real hard. Van Genius victory. Was this a team game? Really? That's weird. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. You know, not my greatest cast, I'll say, but I really want to try to hone the skills of the casting. But swap set, add me fast. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I'm trying to hone the skills of the casting. I know I'm not great. I'm trying to get better. So you know, let me know with criticisms if this goes up on my channel. I don't know if it will. Who knows? We'll see. If it's on the channel, let me know in the comments how you feel about it, and tips. Constructive criticism would be appreciated, not the like "Brr, you suck, noob" kind of thing. It's unfortunate too because I'm not the most skilled player, and casting by myself isn't great because you know I'm not as knowledgeable as say a 6K player would be. So the tips that I can provide are probably pretty weak compared to someone who's particularly skilled at the game. But you know I try my best. And hopefully for the people who are not very skilled at Dota or don't play it at all would benefit from those kind of things. At least I try to do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is AlpacaPatrol signing out. Peace, fools.